Hi guys, welcome back to Infinite Possibilities, the podcast where we explore the lives of amazing people, their choices, challenges and opportunities. And today I have a very special guest, Tabitha.
Hi, thank you.
And Tabitha, you have an awesome last name. Want to introduce it to the audience?
Goedhart is my last name.
Yeah,
so
and it actually means a good heart.
it does, in Dutch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Tabitha, what do you do? What's your 1 minute introduction?
My name is Tabitha, and at KPMG I am a people and change consultant under management consulting, and I am 25, almost turning 26. I live in New Farm and...
Too much detail.
Too much detail, okay, no, that's fine.
No, the location.
And that's it, that's all you get.
Sounds good. So you really want to know how Tabitha got to where she is now, so we're going to go right from the beginning. So Tabitha, what kind of child were you like growing up?
I had a very interesting childhood. As a child myself, I was actually quite whiny.
Why?
Yeah, I was fun. I had a lot of fun. I lived on Magnetic Island half the time, so I was out swimming and doing all that. I was born in Townsville. So kind of from that area initially, and yeah, I just remember I was like a little bit sensitive, but generally had fun, was a little bit weird, quirky.
I love it.
Yeah, I was an only child half the time, so I had to kind of play with myself a lot, which made you just get up to doing like really strange stuff, and mixing a lot with adults as well. So kind of, I don't know, I've always been comfortable holding conversations with adults, like from a young age and stuff like that.
And did that kind of make you a bit more mature for your age?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I don't know. Apparently when I came out as a baby, that the nurse said to my mum, like, oh, she's been here before. Like, as if like my spirit had been here before. So I don't know whether it was being around adults or apparently being reincarnated that made me a bit more mature, but yeah, I was for a time.
That's kind of crazy to
Yeah,
think that. Your mum must have been like shocked, like, oh my gosh, were you like my grandma on the past life?
Yeah, I know, scary.
Yeah, that's cool. And then later you said you got siblings.
Yeah, so I have two younger sisters, Sabrina and Abigail. So they're both on my mum's side. So mum has been married four times. So my sisters are technically my half sisters, but don't think of them like that. So one is 22 now, and the other is 16.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's not like a very big age gap.
9 years between me and Abby, which is crazy. I'm going to be 30 at her 21st, which is a bit, sad, depressing to think about. But so two younger sisters just on my mum's side, and I'm still my dad's only child.
Yeah, that's cool. And how did you sort of fit in the school environment? Because you said you were a bit like a weirdo. Yeah.
I went to a few different junior schools. I started at Currumbin on the Gold Coast and then went to varsity, had some really good friends there. And then I went to Somerset in Madraba, and it took me a little while to fit in. But yeah, I was always just like a little strange. I had some really good friends in year 6, but they all left. So then year 7, 8 and 9, I was kind of changing around a few different friendship groups. My friend Lucy, one of my best friends, she said that she said this at my 21st speech, that she came in grade 10 and that she sat down next to me in Japanese class because I was the only other girl, and that she thought like, oh my god, this girl is so weird. But then we ended up becoming best friends. So
wow, say something a little bit about her as well, weirdo.
Yeah, I know. She is a weirdo. Yeah, you are a weirdo, Lucy. Yeah. But no, and then I went through a bit of a phase of just, and I'm actually like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being weird. I wasn't like super, super weird, but, and then I kind of tried to like just be normal and fit in with everyone. And then I just was like, I'm just going to be myself. And then as soon as I did, that's when I made, a bunch of friends. And that's been my experience over life, is just, if you be yourself and you're comfortable, then that attracts people.
Yeah, like attracts like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. And then tell me more about being weird. So like, what, like if I were to meet you, like, so if we're talking about your childhood, like how weird were you, like on 1 to 10 versus now? Like, has the weirdness died or has it only skyrocketed?
Definitely not. It's, I don't know. I just have fun, just having fun. Like, yeah, I would probably say sometimes, like, it's just like, you know, being like goofy and like accents
like kind
and
of like,
stuff. But like, yeah, when I was little, I guess I just kind of like it probably wouldn't be weird now, but like I used to, you know, really like love bringing like Japanese and like Asian food to school and kind of loved that, and a lot like old movies, or you know, would like make up like characters or just dress up like really seriously, and I guess stuff like that, which actually isn't really weird, but it was just, you know,
like, so
kids
crazy.
are just crazy, like they can be like,
they can be mean.
They can be mean, yeah.
Were they mean to you about this? Like,
no.
I mean, it's kind of like what makes you cool now, right? Because quirky, different personality. But when you're younger, like, being different is not cool. But being
I
think
I think that was the case. No, I mean, like, not more than the average kid. I think everyone got like people being mean to them. I was probably mean to someone at one stage too.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, it all happened, but no, nothing intense. And eventually found some friends that, you know, I'm still very good friends with a bunch of girls like from my school. So, which is actually unusual. I feel like a lot of people don't.
Yeah, the friendships die.
Yeah, the friendships die, but we're all still really close. So
maybe you're just irreplaceable, right? They're like,
that's right.
Tabitha, where do we get one of those?
Exactly. They can't. They can't.
Yeah, that's cool. And then tell me sort of about your first job. Was it at Woolworths doing the cashier, or was there something before that?
My dad used to own some cafes in Palm Beach, so I did work there a little bit, but I wouldn't say that was really work. And I did do a couple of shifts at the news agency there as well. But yeah, Woolworths was, Subway was my first job.
The OG.
Exactly. I was a sandwich artist.
Ooh,
yeah, I know.
like they put artist there, not
but that's the role title.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, I was a dessert artist at Max Brenner. So, but yeah, I got paid, I think, $7.56 at Subway. Yeah. It was so good. I once mixed up a whole bag of chicken with the wrong sauce. It was meant to be chicken teriyaki, but I mixed it with the spring onion sauce, and they were going to dock my pay for like the cost of the chicken, but they worked out I only got paid like $50 a week, so there was really no point. Yeah.
That's so funny. And what was it like, you know, having your first real job, you know?
It was awesome.
Yeah, did you enjoy the world of work, like ta-da, or was it a bit scary? Because like now there are consequences, right? Nearly got your pay cut.
Exactly. No, yeah, I've always been quite independent, so I really enjoyed that. You know, having money and flexibility to do what I want. Yeah. I've always worked so that first job. I think I would have been about 14 or 15 at Subway, and I didn't necessarily have to, but yeah, I've always just kind of been motivated to work. Yeah. And you know, I got Woolies to supplement that, and then at one stage I've often been working 3 jobs at one time, just because like I guess I wanted to do certain things, but but I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah.
And was there something in particular that you were saving up when you were younger? You're like, oh my gosh, you know, this Subway cash I'm gonna buy.
Yeah, I had to save up for my car. Yeah. So I paid a third of my car. That's the good part about having divorced parents, is you can go thirds and not halves of them. And then I guess it was travel that I was saving up for.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then tell me more about the Max Brenner dessert artist. Yeah, what kind of stuff were you doing there? And that's so cool, right?
Yeah, very cool. I had a few friends. I had one friend that worked there, and she got me the job. And I thought it was, it was a really fun job. Everyone there was really cool. I started kind of on the cashier checkout. And then upgraded and made my way to dessert artist. So I would normally do the opening shift. So I got in at 7 in the morning, and we would have to cut up all the strawberries in trays for the day. So I was cutting up like thousands of strawberries. And then we would make the orders as they came through. So I got pretty good at that and I guess multitasking. And then I left and then I actually came back and I was a barista when I came back.
Oh, that's so
Which
cool.
was better because it was less prep and less like heavy labour kind of work, better hours too.
Oh, that's cool. And did you have any like favourite desserts that you were making at the time?
Just the waffles are good with chocolate and strawberries, or the crepes with a bit of whipped cream and chocolate and strawberries.
Classics.
Yeah, or the frappes. The frappes were really good.
Yeah, any perks there? Eating the free desserts and whatnot?
Yes, well, yeah. So we got a free meal and drink with every shift.
Whoa, a free meal.
And
That's
drink.
pretty generous.
Well, like it had to be a basic meal, so like the waffles or something. And also when you're like in the dessert team, you
just eat as you go.
Yeah, eat as you go, or like you make a little extra. I actually used to be really naughty because they have you know, the chocolate pizzas.
Yeah.
And so there was like two types. There was banana and crunch, and the crunch one had like marshmallows and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's a good one. Yeah. And then so I would accidentally sometimes like make a crunch pizza. When a banana one was ordered, and then I'd be like, oh no, like we're gonna have to eat the crunch pizza now. So yeah, naughty young.
Yeah, that's so good. And you were like, you had a really big sweet tooth, yeah, when you started working?
Always have.
Always have.
Yeah, love sugar and sweets.
Yeah, and that's so awesome. And this is almost the beginning of your cooking journey, which
I
we
know.
will touch on a bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but after Max Brenner, what was there?
I worked at a Vietnamese restaurant, Canto in Runaway Bay. I also did a brief stint at General Pants.
Wow.
There was I worked for a natural skincare place, and then I got a job as a property managing receptionist. So I would also do, you know, when people apply for a rental, I would do like the application, so I would approve people or not, which was great because you get to kind of snoop into people's lives.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
fascinating, right?
You know, how much they earn, their pay slips, all of that was super interesting, and that was really good. So that was kind of my first, not corporate, I wouldn't call it corporate, but first job out of like the whole hospitality retail industry, which was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, how was that transition?
I worked at Canto whilst doing the reception place, and then my hours increased at the receptionist, so it was little real estate. And after they did, then I said kind of bye to hospitality. And it was an easy transition. Like some people like to stand up.
Yeah.
I like to sit down. Like I would like, you know, some people use a standing desk, and I'm like, that's honestly my worst nightmare. Like, I'm very comfortable just sitting down all day. So it was great. It was a very easy transition.
Wow, that's awesome, and that's rare to hear as well.
Yeah, and it's nice. Like my mum always worked growing up, and she always wore like very fabulous working clothes.
Yeah.
And so then I finally got to start doing that, and so like it was great.
Yeah, that's so cool. And then so when you graduated high school at the time and you were thinking about the future, what was kind of running through your head?
I kind of realised at the start of year 12 what I wanted to do. Before that, I kind of thought that I wanted to do law or something like that. But then I was like, oh my God, so much reading. I don't want to do that. And now I'm kind of glad. It seems really cool, but I just like the hours seem like, it seems pretty intense.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But enjoy sitting like,
but sitting, bonus. I have always been like very business minded, so I did like commerce and economics and legal studies and stuff at school, and found that I was quite good at that. And then it was about grade 12 and all my friends started having, you know, like relationship problems, like drama, like issues, and I kind of just found they would kind of come to me a little bit, I guess, and then I found that I actually enjoyed kind of helping them and like listening to their problems. I wish I didn't have any, but like when they did,
but
like
it's
I
good
was
stuff.
good. Yeah. And so I kind of enjoyed that, and then I thought maybe psychology would be a good mix, but I thought I'd still do business as well, just because you know it's good to have both. So I was pretty lucky in the sense that I kind of figured out what I wanted to do, and then when I did end up doing it, I liked it because it's not always so easy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about at the time, what did your sort of parents have of like in terms of career expectations? Did they want you to be that lawyer, be that doctor, etc.?
I actually don't know.
Nice.
I think like they wanted me to go to uni,
Yeah.
but I was always pretty motivated to do that, so I never really had that conversation with them because it was kind of just what I wanted to do, so they were never like, you got to do this.
Yeah.
Because I really don't know. I think they would have been fine with me doing whatever, but the school that I went to was very academically oriented, so it kind of wasn't like a choice. Well, not even a choice. It just wasn't discussed.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have like any information sessions about trades or anything like that. It was all kind of uni based. I guess it was abnormal to not go to uni following school. I think was like just the way it was there. So I kind of never considered not going to uni.
Yeah, that's cool. And then just choosing your 2 majors, 2 degrees, that was easy.
Yeah, like I kind of figured that out, and I thought it would be a pretty smart, combo. And I started out doing marketing.
Oh.
And I was like, this sucks. And so then I changed to HR. So, it was pretty easy transition.
That's cool. Was there like a big overlap between psych and HR or not really?
Not really, I would say, because, the HR and the business degree is definitely more focused, kind of internal HR, a little bit of strategy and whatnot and well-being, but I think that has even like progressed a lot more since I've been out of uni, like a HR focus on, employee well-being and like psychological factors that, pertain to managing the employees, but so not too much, but psychology and business, I actually found them quite different. Business was very just like report, for me, the more straightforward one. Psychology is a science, it was behavioural sciences. So it's very like scientific writing, very theoretical, a lot more research heavy, and more rigorous research. Statistics, all of that. So
how did you cope with the maths part? That's like not my forte.
No, not my forte either. I actually enjoyed it.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't too bad. I think because I knew it was hard, I put in a lot more effort, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I actually really love maths once you get it. It's just like getting it. But it doesn't come naturally to me. Yeah, it's hard. I did math A, so
yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And then also walk me through like you worked a lot during your whole uni degree, and how did you sort of balance everything and find time, or were you like one of those people that like, solely worked more at uni and then came and go, or were you heavily involved in kind of the extracurricular at uni?
Yeah, I don't think I was really involved in much extracurricular activity at all. I guess I kind of was naturally just, I moved to Brisbane, and then started working at Panthera Finance, and I just have always worked a bunch, so I was definitely more of a visitor at uni. And I also lived in St. Lucia, and a bunch of my friends
that's so funny.
Yeah.
You went to QUT, yeah?
Yeah, I know. Well, because there was a house available with friends, and I would actually find myself studying more at UQ than at QUT. I guess I kind of just made a decision. I mean, saying I made a decision, like it
just happened.
It kind of just happened, and then I had a bit of like you get 1 or 2 years into your degree, and you're like, okay, do I need to be doing any extracurricular activity? And I kind of decided that I would rather do more work experience than the extracurricular activity.
Too practical.
So I went down the practical side, and same with my my grades. Like I did pretty well, but I probably could have done a lot better, but instead I decided to spend more time kind of working in the industry. Oh.
Yeah, no, all good. It always happens. I forgot to warn you.
No, that's all right. Working in the industry and just building experience, I guess. So I kind of was working at Panthera as a debt collector.
How was that? It sounds like a bit of a, job where you kind of...
Yeah, it was pretty, it was fun because, well, not fun collecting people's debt because that's sad, but there was just so many, like my best friend worked there, so many people we knew worked there, I met my boyfriend there.
Oh, perfect.
It was lots of fun, and so it was short shifts, good pay. It was rough, built a lot of resilience, talking to people on the phone.
Did you have to chase up debt, and how does one do that?
So you sit there in a call center and you have a dial and then it goes...
Yeah, and I go, oh, hey.
And it automatically connects you and you're like, hi, is this Karen?
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, it is. And I say, oh, great, it's Tabitha calling from XX about an outstanding Telstra bill or something like that. And then normally they just hang up. But your goal is to try and get them on a payment plan or some kind of payment for that. And it's pretty funny. You get like some funny people. Like a lot of people swearing at you and
mainly rude people.
Yeah, not main. Yeah, I'd say about half and half rude people and normal people. But anyway, and then someone who's now my friend, but at the time was the HR manager or business partner there, Angus. I reached out to him and I said, hey, this is what I'm studying. Here's my experience. If you've got any like work experience or room for me in the HR team, let me know. And then he was like, come up, let's do 1 day a week. And then that progressed into a permanent position as the HR administrator.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So transition within the same company.
Yeah. And then I moved as the HR coordinator. And that's
so awesome. That's such a good experience.
Yeah, it was great. So it was internal HR. And I think it was really good. Like obviously having that job part-time whilst at uni was really nice. Angus was really great and all my managers there were really great at allowing me to learn and take on more responsibility when I was ready, and like do like things like little business plans for things and strategies, proposals,
that's awesome.
just really small ones. So that was really good experience. And whilst I decided through that you know, I don't think internal HR is for me.
That's crucial.
It was good. It's good having that background knowledge now that I'm in people and change, and you can kind of understand. I can kind of understand how like businesses work from the inside as well. Yeah.
And how did you sort of decide internal HR not for you? Did you want more variety, like, you know, being a consultant and just fixing a lot of different company problems? Yeah.
I think I kind of. It's not. I think it's different depending on where you are. But a lot of internal HR to me just was quite admin heavy. Very repetitive tasks. It wasn't necessarily getting to kind of solve problems or do strategies. So I kind of, but I'm a bit more strategy minded and prefer to work on bigger things. And I also have found that I think I need change, like a little bit, like in my role, because I can get a little bit too motivated by the same thing, you know, constantly. And that's, So.
It's the consulting.
Consulting, and I hopefully will try and stick to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, cool, tell me after that job, what are the other various jobs that you went through during uni?
I mainly was there for all of uni. I did some work experience with Employer Branding Australia, which was really great. I did some work experience as well with the Cancer Council.
Oh, that's awesome.
Queensland. Yeah. So that was actually in the events team.
That's been pretty fun.
It was like organising the events, so that was fun. I think some of my work that I did about the Rock the Chop, which is about like girls chopping their hair for charity. Some of the wording and stuff I did in that actually got put out, which was cool.
Yeah, marketing is useful, huh?
Yeah, exactly. that like 1 month of marketing was great. I really enjoyed that. And then I also did end up doing some work for a smaller boutique consulting agency called Fifth Eagle, who under Kelly McDougall there. And that was really great. And I would say that was probably the most valuable experience that I got out of my uni degree.
Because that was consulting and that's what was different.
Yeah, so it was consulting, and it was also to small to medium-sized businesses. And I worked kind of directly with Kelly, and she trusted me a lot with a lot of responsibility and helped guide me and teach me a lot of stuff. And was very encouraging and supportive. And so there we did work for a bunch of different people, and it was like varied again. So anything from recruitment to better off overall testing, organized like functional redesigns, that kind of thing. And it was like an introduction to kind of what we do now. So it was like similar stuff, but on a much smaller scale.
Yeah, that's so cool. And it's really good working in like kind of a boutique because you get really hands-on and you get to work with people very closely. Yeah, the clients like work directly with them it was great. Yeah, that's cool. And then after the audience is hearing like all those jobs that you've done, like, they're thinking like, how does one sort of put themselves out there? How does one, take the step to kind of applying? And are you good at interviewing, or how does it?
I would say I am good at interviewing.
Nice.
I am. I've not gotten a job that I interviewed for.
Ooh,
so
really
I've applied for jobs that I haven't gotten.
Yeah.
But every job I interviewed for, I've gotten. So I think I am good at interviewing. I always give tips, like previous partners and friends. I've always like sat down and like done mock interviews with them and asked them questions and helped them with their responses. Or a few of my friends have helped out with their resumes and cover letters. I've also had friends help out with my cover letter and resume. So it's like just a little, so.
Yeah, do you have any sort of tips for the audience about like applying for jobs, interviewing, that kind of thing?
So I would say cover letters and resumes, you need to tailor them to whichever job you're applying. Fun thing that I was doing recently, as in like 2 years ago, I'm not applying for other jobs, I swear, was when they write down like the responsibilities in the job ad of what they're looking for, I literally would just like bold those as little headings within my cover letter, and then I would write directly underneath what experience I had, so they can see if that's what they're looking for, and I'm just giving it to them straight up, like easy. I've got it. Then that was good. I think job interviews are about just being open. I don't know, I found them always like reasonably easy because I had experience to talk from.
Yeah, that's true.
And always looping it, I don't know, like trying to...
Loop it back to the job kind of thing?
Loop it back to the job, like come in prepared with, why you would be good for the job, strengths and weaknesses. I just know a little bit. I don't know how to... I think you want to be friendly. You want to be open, and you just want to be able to talk about your experiences that relate to why you'd be good for the role. Like, that's pretty obvious. And I also think just like, they might ask you, do you know how to use this? And if you can say like, I don't, but I've done, like I saw it on the job ad and I've just done a research on it the last few days, and I'm be really keen to learn, stuff like that. Yeah.
You always have something. If you say no, but then you give them something to...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. I wonder if you're really good at interviewing is because you're sort of comfortable in your own skin and then you come across as quite genuine.
Yeah, I like to try and be like, I'm a pretty open person. I can talk a lot. So it comes pretty, I'm like good with conversation with people. So I think that kind of helps. For sure.
That's cool. Would you consider yourself a confident person? And how does one get there? Or
I would say, I would say I'm a confident person. I don't know how to get there. I honestly, it's not something that I guess, yeah. I think it comes with age, definitely. But I was never really I've never really been a shy person, so it's not something I've ever had to work on.
That's cool.
It's kind of, I've always been like very extroverted, outgoing.
Yeah.
I just think, you know, just try and accept yourself kind of for who you are.
Yeah.
I'm probably more like, I think some people are, I always talk about this with people, but it's like I'm quite confident up front, but then sometimes I will like be like thinking afterwards, like, oh my God, like, why'd you say that? Whereas other people are like, why didn't I do this?
Yeah. You regret what you did rather than what you didn't do.
Yeah. Always.
I love it.
Like, yeah, when you talk a lot, like you're bound to say.
Yeah, say too much, right?
Say too much or something stupid or I don't know. But, and that's the thing as well, I just like, that's, for me, it's been more like being confident in what's done is done and like, actually, yeah, I think I have had to work on some aspects of being confident in terms of like, you know, like, oh, like what people think of me.
Chronic overthinking.
Yeah, I'm an overthinker, so, you know, I've not always been super confident that, you know, everyone's liked me or that kind of thing. And I think you just have to remind yourself, like, look around, like, you know, I've had friends say, like, you've got so many friends and, like, everyone, like, people love you. So, like, stop thinking, like, just use that.
Yeah.
You know,
like
instead
evidence.
of doubting yourself a little. As evidence, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely easier to say than to do.
Yes, for sure. But I think it's, I think being confident is important, especially in business as well.
Yeah, and people feel it.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. You don't want to be overconfident.
Cocky.
Yeah, you don't want to be cocky. It's a fine line.
It's too hard.
It is. Hopefully I walk the line well, but who knows?
Yeah, and on to fun stuff. Cooking. Tell me how it started and introduce Tabby. Hello.
Yes, this is Tabitha Table.
Yeah.
So I have a cooking page called Tabitha Table, which just started off, well, it's not like I'm not doing it as like a side hustle. It's just a bit of fun for me. So I've always been cooking. My mum is a really great cook.
Wow.
She cooks like really delicious food and always had beautiful dinner parties with like all the correct like, you know, placemats and plates and glasses and the silverware. It was always beautiful.
My friends must love her, right?
Yeah, I know. And like the 3 courses and I would always set the table. And also with my mum, my grandma, I would always be baking with her when I was little because I spent a lot of time with her. And yeah, so I always just have loved it and I'm a massive foodie. Like I'm like, I'm food crazed. Like if we're talking and then like at like work events when like people come around with like canapes.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking to someone, I'm like, I can't focus. Like I need to eat the food. But and like we'll travel for food. But so it kind of comes with that. Like I like good food. I enjoy cooking, so like I like to cook myself nice food. Yeah, and I like entertaining. Like I'm really social and love having my friends over and cooking for them. So yeah, it's really nice. So I guess I kind of just over the last few years have like ramped it up a little bit, like reading a lot more on it and getting recipe inspiration. And then we were just saying, like my friends and I don't know who came up with the name. I think it might have been, I don't know, I think it might have been my friend Jess Coleman or Alice, or Emily, I'm not sure, but they said Tabitha Table and I just started it as like a little satirical account. Like the captions are all just like a joke. Like I'm not being serious most of the time. Like I'm kind of just trying to be funny, posting my fails as well as like my good ones. And then I was talking to a bunch of my girlfriends maybe last year and I think it was my friend Tessa and she said like, wouldn't it be good if we like kind of instead of going out for lunch, like you cooked us lunch?
Oh, I would love that. Save money, hello guys.
Yeah. And then so that's where like the degustations started. So I've been doing like little Tabitha Table degustations using the word degustation very loosely as well. And so I did that first for my friends, which was 10 courses.
Oh my god!
I know, and I'm not funding it. Like they all like chip in, like with
Yeah,
ingredients,
thank
but like
goodness.
it's my time. And that was just so much fun. And then since then I've done one for a few people from work, and I've also done one for my mum and sisters and stepdad and friends. Yeah,
They love
so-
you. We love friends that can cook.
Yeah.
We love free food.
Yeah, I love free food. And it's good because it gives me a chance to try like some more bougie stuff
Yeah, ooh,
whilst not
love.
having to like, you know, like absorb the cost
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
true, that's true.
Like I'll spend like 500 or something on like
Yeah.
the Degustation. Everyone pays like $50 or something like that, and I get to do like oysters, sashimi,
yum.
like proper nice stuff.
Yeah, and that's still much cheaper than going out, so
Yeah,
well worth
for
it.
for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like having money to experiment with.
Exactly. I like
Yeah.
it. And then after I do it, I'm like, okay, that's enough for like, because it hurts your back, like cooking all day. Like I need benches that are like way higher. 'Cause I'm so tall.
Yeah. How tall are you? Oh yeah, I remember 183. Yeah.
I don't know centimeters, but I think I'm 6 foot. Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know what that
Must
is.
be that good food and good nutrition.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I love really good food, and I also love like really trash food. I like don't like
that's
the in
awesome.
between. So it's like
Ah.
you know, I want
All or nothing. Hello.
yeah, like I want like a proper nice steak with like Cafe de Paris butter, or I want like a Macca's cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I love like Easy Mac and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And the contrast is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love-
It highlights the differences.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, tell me about your first degustation and the 10-course meal. So what was like, you probably don't remember most of the courses, but off the top of your head, and how long does each take to cook?
Okay, so it had homemade focaccia with whipped goat's cheese with chili honey and miso butter. And so that was good. And then I think we did oysters with mandarin and chili and sesame dressing, vinaigrette. I did kingfish sashimi with coconut kaffir infused coconut cream and like a Thai like green sauce with like palm sugar, chilies, and like heaps of herbs. Then I think I did burnt butter prawns with capers.
Ooh.
I did these like green beans in like a labneh, I think, and something else that went with that, I can't remember. 15-hour duck fat potatoes.
And it took 15 hours?
You just let them, like you cook them for an hour and a half on a low temperature, and then you put them in the fridge overnight, and then you deep fry them in cubes. And then it was a spanner crab tagliatelle, and I think that might be it. And then there was meant to be like a prosciutto, peach, and burrata little dessert entree, and then what was dessert? Panna cotta with red wine infused figs, and that took me prep the night before, as well as later that day. The whole day. I got up at like 6 a.m. and lunch was at 2.
Wow, that's kind of quicker than I thought.
Well, you prep something. I think like the thing is everyone can cook. Like I'm not like, you know, like super like I haven't been trained or anything like that. I think anyone can follow a recipe. It's just whether you can be bothered like to sit down. Like I would sit down before a degustation and kind of, you know, obviously work out my ingredients, do the shop in the most efficient way, and then write out like what order things need to happen. So it's like, okay, I need to make the pasta dough the night before, and then I might chop up all the vegetables so they're just like ready to go. It's like trying to do as much prep as possible, and then you order like the things that you have to do fresh throughout the day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's fun.
I
love it.
Sounds like so much effort. And how many people for that 10-course meal, man? Surely it should
That
just
was
be...
like 11.
Wow.
I don't think it was 10 courses in the end, but it was 11 or so girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're ambitious.
Yes.
I would have started
We
with
didn't eat the
sauce.
last 2 courses because they were all so full. So I had a bunch of panna cotta to get through the next day, but yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed it, and everyone had a really fun time. The next thing I want to master is pairing it with wines.
Oh.
Like I want to learn, and I want to be like because normally people just bring their own wine, and next time I want to like have the wine and serve it with the different dishes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so high class.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your favorite food to cook? And then what is your favorite dessert to cook?
My favorite dessert to cook is creme brulee, and it's delicious. I love French food.
Oh, yeah.
Like weeknights and stuff, I love Vietnamese food, but if I'm like cooking something really nice, like some kind of, I like kind of French and like Asian fusion stuff is really yummy. Yeah. My favorite food to eat is definitely like a French steak frites with like the sauce. Just really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And since we know that you're an awesome cook, we also want to know what you eat day to day. Are you like an all or nothing? You just like eat like sandwiches for the day, quick and easy, or do you have some really awesome food in the fridge every day when you go for lunch?
I don't know. I mix it up. I'm trying to be, it's a new year, new me, trying to be a bit healthier. But yeah, I am always eating something on toast, like zucchini with like burrata and like prosciutto or something on toast, or like, I don't know. Yeah, I always like vermicelli salads are great throughout the week.
Do you meal prep for the week?
I try to, yeah. So this week I've been having like green mango smoothies for breakfast with a piece of toast. And then I've always watched these videos and I've always wanted to say what I eat in a day. I've been doing, so like a mango matcha kale smoothie coconut smoothie for breakfast, the piece of toast. This morning I had goat's cheese with quince paste on one, and then I also I over whipped my cream the other day, which meant it kind of started turning into butter. So I just created butter. So it's like a vanilla bean butter. So I had vanilla bean butter with with Davison plum jam on toast as well. That was delicious. And then for lunch, I have a prawn, zucchini and tomato, like gambari pasta. And for dinner, I will probably have like a halloumi salad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you spend most of your time cooking then? Or is it like it's very efficient, you've got it all done and then you can eat it throughout the week? Or because they sound like gourmet. It doesn't sound like the...
Well, the good thing about toast stuff is that if you just buy like nice deli ingredients and like nice butter and like some nice bread. So like you buy like some avos, some cherry tomatoes, you've got some different cheeses, some different like cured meats. Then like you can whip that up like working from home lunches, or bring it into the office and just like eat that on toast, and it's just like so yummy.
Yeah.
That's easy. The pasta I had cooked up, and so I've got a big batch of that, so I just packed that. And then the halloumi salad is really easy as well. It's just like quickly whip it together. So no, I try to be conscious of like how much time that I've got in the week. But yeah, happy to cook all day on the weekends and whatnot. Yeah,
that's awesome. I think you need your own cooking channel.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what,
You could be like a lifestyle blogger, man. Yeah.
I could.
Maybe this is the beginning.
Maybe this is the beginning, You're going to take 10%.
Yeah.
I do have a little tripod at home. But it's just so hard. I don't know. I mean, this is like one take.
Yeah.
But like the cutting of it all, it's just... Yeah, I really respect TikTok people because like it's hard, and also especially when you're cooking and things are timely and you've got like stuff all over your hands. It's like trying to cook it, and then it's like you're trying to read the recipe off your phone because my laptop got stolen. So so I only have my phone. So read the recipe whilst cooking, Yeah,
that's actually much harder. It's a lot of multitasking.
Yeah,
which you're good at.
Yes, I know. Yes, very good. But yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, that's cool. On to another topic.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're part of the LGBTQ. Can you tell us more?
I'm part of the committee here at KPMG. So, I'm an ally, and I just think it's a great committee to be involved with. I have not been, super hands-on, but I have been speaking to Katie Duckworth, who is really involved. And I know that they are looking for members, so I might try and help out this year. And just supportive. It's kind of you know, I'm really happy at like the work that they've been doing for diversity and inclusion at KPMG. Like I feel like every like month we hear something new that comes out that's, you know, more supportive. That because it's, you know, all well and good to just say like diversity and inclusion is important and we support LGBTQI+, but like, you know, the policies and processes have to support that as well. So it's been really nice to see not only that end of it, but then also just like the support, like going to the events and celebrating that community.
Yeah, and how did you decide that, you know, like out of all the different clubs, you wanted to support this club? Like, how did you, like, you know, find your passion for it or whatnot?
I just kind of, I just have I guess everywhere I go, I just always try and, you know, be a good ally, and I feel, you know, really, I mean, like I've had my Uncle Aaron growing up, he was gay, and I've had friends as well, and you know, I just think it's a good area to support because there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and have fun whilst doing it. Yeah.
Any tips for being a good ally? What does that kind of mean?
I think something that I remember I saw in one of the articles recently, which I'm not going to get the wording exactly right, but it's it's not about speaking for the community. It's about, I guess, kind of being behind them and supporting them. I don't think, you know, anyone is, especially like, you know, if you're cis and hetero, is stepping in to speak for people. But it's also about listening and just like learning. So I would just say be supportive. Don't try and be a savior. And listen and learn, because it's you know, continuously evolving. And I think we all have, like, you know, it's progressed a lot in the last couple years, like the movement, but still growing up, we had like a few things, you know, built into us, and like one thing I'm trying to do at the moment, which is a hard habit to get out of, but I think it's really important, is trying to refer to just everyone as they, you know, until their pronouns are identified. Do you know? But like naturally,
you would always
you label she or he. But I don't think that's something that we need to move away from. So just listening and keeping up to date, and just trying your best with little things from day to day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then also tell me more about your work now as a people and change consultant.
What's
the day-to-day look like, even though it's always different?
It's always different and always changing. I've really, like, I love people and change. We have a great team. We're all kind of, a lot of us have business, HR, or psychology backgrounds, so it makes for a really lovely working environment and space, because we're advising people on their internal people area, so naturally ours is kind of not really great. And what do I do day to day? So we do kind of anything from so we fall under enterprise transformation. So I guess the way I would put it is that we help large clients with anything in terms of transforming their workforce, in terms of kind of the people and the workforce aspect or element of that. So that incorporates like workforce planning, change management, organisational design, workplace relations advisory, skilling, and just like general kind of strategies. So I've mainly been involved in the, I did a really big organisational design last year. So that's really interesting. So that's kind of looking at like a current state, a desired future state, and then kind of like a roadmap on how you will get from A to B. And I've also done a few kind of left of centre strategy pieces, which I really love, because I love diversity in what I do. And so one was actually a digital roadmap. So that was really cool. So I learned a lot about digital stuff.
Yeah.
Infrastructure that I didn't think I would need to know. And that was a little bit more on like the economic skilling focus.
Yeah.
And right now I am doing a workforce model plan. Kind of building a model for a client and so that with a bunch of roles and skills that are relevant to different elements that they could have in their business, and then they can adjust it. So if they say, I want A, B, and E, they can input that and it will spit out how many and what employees that they'll need for that. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that too. So far so good.
Yeah.
I haven't tried change management, but it sounds really fun. Yeah.
What's the best part of your work and the maybe not so great part of your work?
I think the best part of my work is the variety, like changing all the time. I really appreciate that. I think I need that. And also stakeholder consultation. Actually, I'll say, linked to the variety, the learning in depth about different areas of like different sectors and different businesses is really cool. Like I really want to become that person later on in life that can just talk about, like there's like directors in our team who can just, spit off like information like crazy. And you're like, how do you know that? Like that only came out 4 hours ago. Like how do you know? But like you can ask them about so many different things and they will just know. And I think that comes with like experience. So I've really enjoyed that. Slowly building my knowledge. Like I said, now I know a bunch about digital infrastructure. And my worst part, I would say, I don't know. I guess sometimes there's really, I actually don't know. There's not really anything that I really dislike. Sometimes there's lots of meetings.
Yeah. Is it like, would you say like 50% of your day is in meetings?
Sometimes. Not really. Like they will get periods. I think I would say not the worst part, but the part that sometimes you get a bit like, it's like because we do a lot of stakeholder consultations. And it can be quite repetitive. Like you're doing the same spiel and consultation, 20 times. And so by the end you're like, oh my God, like I'm so sick of the sound of my own voice. So that would be it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Make you think really hard, so it sounds like a pretty good job.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. So we're nearly at the end of the podcast, just a few more questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so the deep one. So what do you think the meaning of life is in your opinion?
I don't know what the meaning of life is, but I just think that, you just do things that make you happy. Like I don't really think that there is like a one thing that we're meant to kind of achieve.
Yeah.
Or like
especially as a generalist.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't have like a goal like that I think I need to be this or blah blah blah, but I just want to like enjoy the ride, if that makes sense. Like just try and enjoy your day as much as possible. Like I was talking to people and I was like, being on holiday and like vacation, it's like a state of mind. Like you can find, happiness and like aspects of being on holiday and vacation like in your everyday. Like just if you feel like I'm trying to be a bit more strict on myself because I will just like treat myself all the time. Like I'm not very strict with myself in that regard. But like I also think like just make like your day happy. Like if you want a glass of wine, have a glass of wine, not at work. Or like if you want like the chocolate, have the chocolate. I think it's just about doing things that make you happy, really, and making choices based off that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I would say, and I saw something the other day about this actor, and he was talking about, I'm going to absolutely butcher this as well, about, like he was saying like there was a story, like some famous like poet or writer about how he was in love with this girl and he called her like seagull or something, and then that was his goal like all he wanted was to be that. And then when like to catch a seagull, you have to shoot it like down, like you can't catch a seagull.
Yeah.
And then it's nothing, like that's 100% butchered
Yeah,
and like so like crazy. But you know, if you're always chasing something, once you get it, like you just have to admire kind of things from afar, like admire life and like purpose from afar, and just be like, I think this is great. Like it's not, I don't think life is something to attain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like journey, not destination.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. And that seagull analogy didn't make sense. I'll send you what I was talking about. But yeah, that didn't make sense when I said it out loud.
No, it's a pretty funny story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And then, so if you won the lottery tomorrow, what would you do differently about your life?
Honestly, like I always say this, I love my job, but if I didn't have to work a day in my life, I wouldn't. Like I would probably take a few years off, and I would 100% go on a shopping spree straight up, and then I would probably get a financial planner, an advisor, to tell me like what to invest, how much money I've got to spend, and then I would take all my friends on like a massive like first class, probably like a yacht, like a super yacht trip somewhere, and just like have like cocktails and like a big party, and like stock their rooms with like a bunch of like nice clothes and and just travel the world. And then I'd probably you know, try and like narrow down something like I really love, like maybe it is consulting, or maybe I try and build my Martha Stewart network or something, you know, with cooking. So because I think you do need to kind of have somewhat purpose, or whether it's, you know, like starting a charity or something like that. That's what I do. But yeah, have fun first and then work out the serious stuff later if I win the lottery.
That's true. Reward yourself, man.
Yeah, I would wait out my 4-week notice period and then I would go.
Yeah, that's also, and then the final question is, what is an ideal day in the life for you? It can be work related, non-work related, etc. I'm
going to go non-work related.
Yeah. I mean, after hearing about that shopping spree and travel.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be great. I'm going to go like, I'm going to go day in the life that's actually like attainable.
Yeah, I get you.
It would be waking up, having a nice sleep in, my room's clean, I wake up, someone brings me in like breakfast, like in bed, just chill out in my bed, probably watch a reality TV show, just eating like something really delicious, like some kind of like croissant and a coffee, or like a speck omelette, and then I would write down my list of things to do, because I would be having a dinner party later that day, and then I would go to all the best places to get food. So I'd go to like farmers markets, go to the best like flower store, like pick up flowers, go to all the specialty like cheese stores, get some cheese, go to the specialty wine store, get some wine, come home, set the table, make all that, have my friends over, have cocktails, listen to some good music, and just have a good night. That's my ideal day right now, which I do sometimes. But
hope you can do it on the weekends.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
that's awesome. So we're at the end of the podcast. Want to say bye?
Thanks so much. Bye.